So it was a few days ago now, ladies and gentlemen, we covered this whole story with Riley Gaines, an all-American swimmer who was speaking out against the NCAA, and another swimmer, another competitor, Lia Thomas. Now, for all of you that don't know, I'm sure you all do know, but Lia Thomas is a trans woman, so a biological man. Yes, more and more men are in women's sports now. We were told this wasn't going to happen, just let everybody live their individual truths. Well, lo and behold, in 2023, it's becoming more and more the norm, is it not? Now, Riley Gaines is not only speaking out against the NCAA and because she was forced to compete against Lia Thomas, but also because she was forced to share a locker room, a changing room with Lia Thomas, along with the rest of the real women. They weren't told about this. They didn't give their consent. They weren't given any warning. So the NCAA are essentially saying, look, not only now do you have to accept the fact that men can come into your sports and beat you, but you also have to accept the fact that they can come into your changing rooms. You're not allowed to say anything. It's a state of forced compliance, right? I think we can all agree on that. So Riley Gaines has had enough. She is risking everything and speaking out against this. And we say risking everything because we know in today's world, you're not really allowed to question it. You're not allowed to speak out against it because if you do, well, you can face consequences, your career could be affected, etc., etc. But there is this new clip of Riley Gaines that I've seen, and it's new to me. You may have already seen it, but I just want to share this with you because when I saw this and saw how emotional she got, how concerned she was, how passionate she is, I know there's going to be women watching right now who feel exactly the same and resonate with the concerns she has. This clip, I believe, is Riley Gaines giving her testimony at the VA in support of the Fairness in Women's Sports Bill. Now, this clip is quite long, so I just want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy it, and I'm sure you will feel exactly the same as I did when you first heard this. Take a listen.
My name is Riley Gaines. I'm a recent graduate from the University of Kentucky, where I was on the women's swim team. I proudly finished my career as a 12-time NCAA All-American, a 5-time SEC champion. I am one of the fastest 200 butterflyers of all time. But on March 17th of last year, my teammates and I and other female swimmers from universities around the country were forced to compete against a biological male named Lia Thomas. Thomas was allowed to compete in the women's division after competing as a member of the University of Pennsylvania's men's swim team for 3 years. We watched on the side of the pool as Thomas won a national title in the 500-yard freestyle, beating out the most impressive and accomplished female athletes in the country, including Olympians and American record holders. Whereas just the year before, Thomas at best was ranking in the 400s in the men's category. The next day, Thomas and I raced in the 200 freestyle, which ended up in a tie. We went the exact same time down to the 100th of a second. Having only one trophy, the NCAA told me that I would go home empty-handed and this trophy would go to Thomas. And when I questioned this, the NCAA told me that Thomas had to hold it for photo purposes. I was shocked. I felt betrayed and belittled, reduced to a photo op. But my feelings didn't matter. What mattered to the NCAA were the feelings of a biological male. In 1972, Congress enacted Title IX to end unjust sex discrimination in all aspects of education, including college athletics. But by allowing Thomas to displace female athletes in the pool and on the podium, the NCAA intentionally and explicitly discriminated on the basis of sex. Although the NCAA claimed it acted in the name of inclusion, its policies in fact excluded female athletes. But that is not all. In addition to being forced to give up our awards, our titles, and our opportunities, the NCAA forced female swimmers to share a locker room with Thomas, a 6'4", 22-year-old male who was fully intact with male genitalia. Let me be clear, we were not forewarned. We were not asked for our consent, and we did not give our consent. If nothing else, I hope you can truly see how this is a violation of our privacy and how some of us have felt uncomfortable, awkward, embarrassed, and even traumatized by this experience. I know I don't speak for everyone. It's impossible to speak for everyone, but I can attest to the tears that were shed on that pool deck by these poor 9th and 17th place finishers who missed out on being named an All-American by 1 place. And I can attest to the extreme discomfort in the locker room when you turn around and there is a male watching you undress while exposing himself. I can attest to the anger and frustration from these girls who had worked so hard and sacrificed so much to get to this point. Unfortunately, our experiences are not unique. The number of female athletes who have been denied opportunities, again, traumatized or hurt by policies that claim to be promoting inclusion, is growing at an alarming rate around this country. It's simply unacceptable, and the integrity of women's sports is lost.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks so much.
You know, what she just said there, in my opinion, needs to be heard across the world. I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say this. Women's sports is getting closer and closer to being eroded. The more men you include within the sports, the more it's on the brink of collapse. Women are training every single day. They're grinding so hard to be in the sport they love, to compete in the sport they love. But they're getting completely decimated by biological men who are ranked 400th in their own division, and because the progressive left have given them this bridge to cross that they can actually go into women's sports and you're not allowed to question it, they will decimate the whole competition. They'll go home with the awards, they'll put their feet up. But these companies like the NCAA, these divisions don't really care about women's feelings because it's all about inclusion, right? Inclusion, no. Because if women like Riley Gaines start speaking out against this, it starts to slowly turn into exclusion, which is why, in my opinion, Riley Gaines is one of the only women speaking out against this. We are in a point, ladies and gentlemen, where advocating for common sense, the truth is now deemed career threatening. How does that work? As Riley Gaines said, Lia Thomas came into the women's division, decimated top female athletes. Female swimmers missed out on the chance to become an all-American swimmer. Lia Thomas tied with Riley Gaines, and because the NCAA are all about inclusion, they said to Riley, hey look, we need this dude to hold the trophy because we want to be deemed progressive. They didn't care about Riley Gaines' feelings. They don't care about biological women's feelings. All they care about is this progressive state of the world. And this progressive agenda almost went above and beyond, this progressive ideology, because not only did the NCAA allow Lia Thomas to compete, not only did they give him the trophy to hold instead of Riley Gaines, the University of Pennsylvania nominated Lia Thomas to be Woman of the Year, the NCAA Woman of the Year. They were going to nominate a dude for Woman of the Year? What? Again, you know, we were told this wasn't going to happen. We were told women's sports were safe. Nobody's going to come for women's sports. It will be fine. Yeah, well, I wouldn't be sat here otherwise, would I? No. And we have this strange thread that's going viral right now. I'm sure you've all seen it, of Lia Thomas. It's very interesting. It's so interesting, I don't even think I can include any of it in this video because I don't want to get demonetized or anything. I'm sure you've all seen it, but these are the people that they're including in these sports. These are the people that they're promoting, and they are casting real women aside. First, they came for the straight male. Now they're coming for the females. But this is controversial to say, isn't it? It's very strange. But what are your opinions, ladies and gentlemen, on this whole situation? How did you feel watching Riley Gaines' video? Did it resonate with you? I would love to know. If you have enjoyed today's video, then please, for me, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that big red subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. But until next time, it has been your boy JD. Please, for me, make sure to always have a great day. And more importantly, stay safe. I'm out. Peace.